What's up? What up, what up, what up? Good to be back. We are back in the game. So hopefully we don't have no problems this week. So we had out AT&T and they said they did find the problem. They said they fixed it. So fingers crossed on this one, guys, because I hope this doesn't jack up. Who's texting me? Wife's already on me. Mel's texting. Mel's been sick all day, just so you know, so I'm just wondering why she's saying, oh, she's saying, come on. Dude, if I'm like 30 seconds late, she gets on me. But anyway, keep Mel in your prayers. Mel's been sick all day. She's throwing up all day long, still in bed. So hopefully she gets better. But hey, good to be back. Man, got a lot to talk about this week. We had a race last weekend, and we had X Games, so we got to touch on some stuff because there was a lot going on. X Games had 4 different moto events. Plus, we had a lot happening with the races this weekend. So let's just jump in and see who is in the chat. We got MX Tips. We got Jeremy. We got Brian. We got Nico. We got good. I went to say Big Fights and said good. We got Big Fights. I think I'm with he says, let's get this show going. It's past my bedtime. Fights, listen at 8 o'clock here back home. Or no, it's actually 9, huh? It's 9 on the East Coast. So we got Chris. We got Monroe, Nico. Let me lift this up so I can see it a little bit better. But hey, we haven't did this in a while. I know this is our crew. This is our main crew. But hey, throw up where you're from and just let everybody know because that's pretty cool. I like seeing where you guys are from. Actually, I feel like I know where a lot of you guys are from because we've been hanging out for how many months now? But yo, throw it up there while I'm getting into this. I'm going to do a couple quick announcements. You guys let them know where you're hanging out from all around the world here. And we'll jump in. We'll talk about, like I said, we'll talk about X Games. We'll talk about this past weekend. And so real quick, the next Midwest class is going to be, I picked a date. And like I said, man, it's kind of risky picking dates early. I've been realizing that the more I've done classes out here in the Midwest. You pick your date early and you don't know what the weather's going to be like. And then all of a sudden, you start to see rain on the schedule. So, hey. I'm just going for it. This is what I did the first year, and I'm going for the 14th because we got Big Fights in town the week before that. And then there's a good chance I might be going to a motocross camp on the East Coast. So I might be back. Been texting with, it's another FCA motocross camp. It's in New York. It's upstate New York. It's actually pretty far from my dad's house. But I'm really considering going out there and checking that out. So, and that's going to be the week after, I believe. I think it's the next week. So I gotta shoot for this weekend. Hopefully we got some clear weather and I can get this done. And if you go, it's up on the website right now. And I know it says Green Valley or Hillsdale, which are definitely 2 options for track. But also a lot of the boys, Brian was out at the sand track, and it's Thomas Kimberly's track. Thomas is in here with us sometimes. But I'm considering maybe even hitting him up. I might even try to sneak out there this week and do some riding. So it could be there. So as soon as I find out, I'll definitely get you guys a heads up. So you guys, because I know people want to make plans and travel in and get an idea where the track's going to be or where the class is going to be. But they're the tracks on the radar right now. So, but I think it might be fun to do something different and maybe hit a sand track. So August 14th is up on the website. And there's only 4 spots available for this class right now. Semi-private, 5-hour class. And we'll be going through everything. We start with the basics. We go through body position. We do balance drills. We do corner drills. Then we'll go into circle track drills. Then we'll kind of pick a section of track, work on that section of track. We'll take a break for lunch. And then we'll come back in the afternoons, always work on some rollers, go to another section of track, kind of work on that. And then we end with starts. And then we go into what I call lap drills and where we'll focus on. Because we go through so much stuff during the day, it's hard to remember every single thing. So I like to focus on one thing, do one lap, call them lap drills, like a focus lap. And we're thinking about one thing rather, because you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, okay, if you're a brand new rider, I'm trying to remember balls of the feet, where I gotta have my head forward, finger on the clutch, arms up and out, loose, like... It's hard for some people to remember every single thing that I told them throughout the day. So pick one thing. And we'll go through them. Maybe it's just balls of the feet. We'll do one lap on the balls of feet. Next lap, it might just be looking ahead, looking up in those corners, and do a lap looking up in the corners. Next lap might be breathe. Focus on breathing. A lot of times we forget to breathe out there. We get so focused on our technique, we forget to get air, and that's one of the most important things. So it's good to get that in your training program. Learn how to breathe when you ride. Got to get that air. So anyway, so that's kind of how our semi-private classes break down. A lot of you, I know Brian's been to probably about 3 now, so he knows how we do it. But and also got some one-on-one stuff going on. I don't advertise it on the website, and I think I might start doing it because now I've been getting a couple spots where I can do them. I actually got 3 different spots where I can do one-on-one. So I've been actually got kind of like 2 people I've been bouncing around. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, kind of a day to jump on board and do some one-on-one training. So just email the site, Ronnie Faisst MX. The email is info@ronniefeistmx.com. It'll come straight to me if you're interested in or got any questions or interested in one-on-one. But if you want to just get signed up to class, just go to the website. All the information's on that. And that's really it for announcements. Not a whole lot going on. Let's see, where are we at right now? We are at the end of July. Like I said, we got Big Fights coming in town. And then the August class coming up. And then potentially I might be going to the FCA class. And this is a huge class. I was talking to a guy. They already have 230 plus campers. That's a big, big class. And I'm sure they bring in, like the other camps, are bringing probably, 5, 6, 7 coaches, maybe even more for a school that big. But I was like, you know what? I'm looking at the video online, and this track looks mint. This is upstate New York. This is probably farther. This has to be like, it's up by Syracuse. So Big Feist, you remember the name of the town? I texted you and actually how far, but I think Feist said it was like 6 hours from where he is in Jersey. So it's way upstate, but just green mountain, sick track up and down the hills, and dirt looks super good. And I mean, I love FCA. It's a fellowship Christian athlete. So it's a Christian motocross camp. We get to ride, we get to dive into the Bible, fellowship. So 2 things that I'm passionate about, my faith and my riding. So I'm like, you know what? I might have to hit that up. So definitely considering it. So I'll keep you guys posted if I'm going to be out there. So if you're in that area, I don't know if there's any spots left with 200 and some camper. They might be sold out. But it's, like I said, upstate New York. So here, I want to just scroll through here before we jump in. I'll just like I said, I like seeing where all you guys are from. Let's see what we got. Is that Iowa? I don't even know how to say Royal. I don't even know how to say your town, but is that Iowa? IA? I'm not sure, but we're giving you a little shout out because you're the first one to throw it up. We got Big Fights rep in Mays Landing, New Jersey. That's the hometown. We're going to jump back. I see some questions already pop. I'm seeing a lot of questions popping up. We got Jess. What up, Jess? Representing from Oregon. Nice. And then here we go, upstate New York. So there you go, Chris. Hey. There's a FCA motocross camp coming up, and I believe it's the 3rd week of August. You probably can look it up. FCA motocross. We got Jeff City MO. Hey, local boy here. All right, I'm already seeing lots of questions. So, upstate New York, Mixed Tips, Rhode Island, Anthony P, KCMO. We got Curtis. What up, Curtis? Is that our boy Curtis? Hey, I don't know that. I don't think that's our boy. And I meant like the boy that it's been we have a homie that's came to our class, and I think his last name is different than Novak. But anyway, his brother crashed really hard at practice track this week. So Curtis' last name starts with an M, I believe. The Curtis I was thinking of. Anyway, he's been to a couple of my classes. I've seen him at the local track. Super good dude. I actually see him at the gym all the time. He's the yoked up dude. You guys know Curtis, right? His little default picture is him. He's yoked. See him at the gym all the time. Anyway, keep his brother in prayer. I think it's his older brother. Super hard crash. He got fractures to his skull and face, and Curtis was sending me pics. It was super gnarly. So just glad he's able to get out of that with just a concussion, and I think he might have to do surgery though to fix his eye socket. But anyway, keep it in your prayers. It sucks when we hear about our boys taking hits. All right, so let's we're gonna get to the questions, but let's go to the moto. We'll talk moto since I watched the races over the last 2 days to kind of catch up with what was going down. Then we'll talk about X Games real quick. All right, so Barsha finally coming through with the 1-2, getting the first overall, I believe first overall ever in the 450 class. So shout out to Barsha getting that first one. That's always feels good. Tomac, consistency, 3-4. Ferrandez, always, he's right there. I think, and didn't something happen? Look, Ferrandez crashed in the second moto, and Plessinger, I think, piled into him, and he was way back, but he was able to come back all the way to the top 5, and then, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. You know, he's still getting on the podium. He's being consistent, and that's honestly what it's going to take to win this championship. Sexton, man, I love watching Sexton, dude. Isn't Sexton fun to watch? That dude's bad. He got in the pile up with Roxton in the first moto. Everybody knows, where's Roxton? He's way down here. Did not start. It should have been did not finish because he did start. He just didn't make it. So I guess if you don't get to the white line, they don't even call that a start. Because he did start. You guys that watch the races, he crashed in the first turn hard, and then Sexton hit him. I think somebody else might even ran him over. But then he came back. No one would have probably expected him to even race. Comes back and wins. That's pretty sweet. So I was psyched on that because, you know, I like Roxton. And I was thinking about favorite riders to watch, and I'm going to go, for me, Ken Roxton, Chase Sexton, and the two, gosh, why is my brain freezing right now? Lawrence brothers. They're just, I love their style, dude. The smooth as ice. But let's get a little shout out to Christian Craig with the 4.6. That's pretty good. Dude, that's pretty sick for Christian Craig. Top 5 in the 450 class. Plessinger not having as good as a day as we expected, like I said, with the crash. And then Muscan just kind of 2.8, so just being consistent. I can't really see. Oh, Sabache. So, hey, it is what it is. A lot happened. What else happened in that moto? Oh, Webb. How about Webb and that was Sexton. Webb and Sexton over that tabletop before they headed into the whoops. Basically, Sexton came in there and scrubbed it right in. It's crazy that he decided to scrub towards him and basically bumped tires with Webb and sent him straight off the track, which, if you guys seen the crash, I think he got off really, really good, considering like he could have high-sided from the top. He got 3 swaps in before it pitched him. So I know it sucks, and it probably still hurt, but I think he could have hit that ground way harder if he would have just went straight from the top when Sexton hit him and didn't get any swaps. It kind of slows roll down a little bit. But, yeah, that always sucks. So let's go to the 250 class. Of course, you got Martin, which is his home track, and he schooled everybody with the 1-1. But, hey, we got to give a shout-out to Mosselman. Did not Mosselman kill it in the second moto? He put the heat on Cooper and made the move. He was charging. So, I mean, these guys went back. They just basically flipped 3-2 and 2-3. And, I mean, he's sick to watch. But right here, dude, these two guys are my two favorite 250 riders. And Jet, I mean, we got to give a shout-out, big shout-out to this guy. He went down. There was the crazy crash with who started it? You guys remember who crashed? I know Hampshire got into him, but someone went down. Hampshire hit him, got the banner stuck into his in the second moto. And then Lawrence got into him. It was like 5 or 6 guys went down in that crash. But anyway, Lawrence came all the way back, man, with the 5.5. So, hey, Jet, sorry, with the 4.6. So, pretty impressive to come from way in the back after that crash. And then we got Colt Nichols being pretty consistent, Shimoda. And then, hey, Faulkner with the best finish of his probably this year, right? Because he's kind of been chilling towards like the 8th to 10th range all season, and he came in with a 4th in that second moto. So shout out to the local boy putting some things together. And I think Faulkner, I think maybe with this one good finish, we could see him come back around a little bit stronger, because that's all it takes sometimes is to get one good finish and build a little confidence, and then you can get right back in the game. So hopefully we see him up there more. He is pretty sick and pretty fun to watch. So let's switch gears, talk about X Games real quick. I don't want to take up too much time because we got 4. I want to hit you guys' questions, but we got 4, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on some of these, because these are judge events, so we can all hey, it's somebody's opinion when it's a judge. That's what's cool about racing. Clean cut winner, you can't argue, right? Well, in freestyle, you can get fired up because you can think you didn't get judged well, you think someone got a little favor, so it's judged. So we can all throw our 10 cents in, and I want to hear what you guys think, because I know what I think sometimes, but hey, it's just my opinion. So let's start with freestyle. We got 5 events. There was 5 moto events: freestyle, whip, best trick, pipe, quarter pipe, and the 110 brand new event. But anyway, freestyle, we had Luke, and I've got to give a shout out to Luke Ackerman. He's a German rider. So, and the thing is, I think he's the only German rider. So pretty cool to represent for your country like that. Be the only guy in freestyle, and then to come home with a gold medal from Mexico. That's pretty huge. I'm 100% sure it's his first gold medal. He has really sick 360s. Does probably the flattest one of anyone doing them right now. He does double flips, and I believe I don't think he did a front flip, but I believe he did a 540. I was trying to think about these guys' runs, and I'm like, gosh, man, it's judging freestyle. I've judged freestyle. It's one of the hardest things to judge because you got to remember what every single person did, and they're doing multiple tricks. Best whip's easier. It's one trick. Best trick way easier. It's pretty easy. Judge one trick. Obviously, quarter pipes. It's like step up. Who goes the highest, right? That's easy stuff. We don't even have to judge that. The computer does the work. But freestyle is a tough event to judge, and these guys are so close. And they only had 3 judges this year. They cut it back. It's been 5 judges since X Games started, and they normally take the high and the low, throw those out, and then combine average to 3. Well, this year they only took 3 judges, so a little bit different. I don't know how that played into the scores, but anyway, Ackerman with the first, Josh Sheeny with the second, and Adelberg with the third. And I know Sheeny also did a double flip. I know he does 360s, but I can't remember his run well enough to know if he put one in it. But I think Sheeny's a little bit smoother of a freestyle rider than Ackerman, but Ackerman might have just got him on the tricks. Because I think Sheeny might have threw in a body barrel. It's too hard to remember. Like, how long ago X Games was now? 3-4 days ago? My brain doesn't remember every single trick. But I do think, just by seeing these guys through the years, I think Sheeny is a little bit smoother of a dude, and I think his double backflips. I know he did a no-handed double backflip in his run, but I've seen him do better ones. So I think he had one. I think he got a weird pull where he's a little off balance because he kind of did one of those, and I've seen him do them like this, like super big and super sick. So probably not his best run of the day for him, but still walks away with a bronze medal or a silver medal. Which, dude, come on, still pretty. In this day, it's pretty good because the comp, like, dude, 8 riders on the invite list, which is pretty hard to make, period. And then Adelberg, I don't, that's the thing. I mean, I'm like, I probably should have went and watched the runs before I sat down so I could get some better feedback for you guys. But I know Adelberg he's the best. He's got the front flip wired, but did he double flip? Do you guys remember? Let's get some input. Do you remember if Adelberg double flipped in his run? Because I can't remember. But Adelberg is really smooth. His front flips are really good. So he was able to get the third, and then Taka's pretty flawless. I honestly think Taka should have been up a little bit. He got a 5th, I think, and I'm not just saying this to my friends. Like, people like, hey, it's your buddy. No, I really think Taka's like flawless. He didn't have a double flip, no front flip, so obviously he's not going to be in the top 3. But he probably should have been in. It probably should have been a 4th. I think he was a little bit smoother than David Ronaldo got 4th. But anyway, we'll jump over to. It is what it is. That's what I said. I might look at somebody's run and say, hey, that run was pretty smooth, and somebody else might. And this is what I think. If I was to go back and study these runs, this is how it used to be. If you messed up one trick, if you goofed up one trick, because I remember the night I was watching it, I was kind of voicing my opinion because me and Mel, and I'm like, oh, dude, but so-and-so did this, and I had a better, I was in the moment of watching it, I had a better idea of what was happening. And I think what I was seeing was the judges were kind of like, if they were doing like double flips, front flips, and they kind of goofied on one trick, because I almost feel like someone repeated a trick in that, and you couldn't do that back in the day. If you repeated a trick, that was almost like bad as a dead sailor. And I think someone in the top 3 repeated, I almost think somebody might have, I want to say dead sailor, but maybe just like I don't know if it was a straight flip or maybe it was like maybe it was just not that good of a trick. Back in the day, it was like you had to have flawless run, and if someone like Taka who had a flawless run, if one of those dudes up front kind of messed up one trick, the guy with maybe a little bit less, he didn't have the two big bangers that he needed, but he was flawless, would sometimes beat that guy. And now it looks like they're kind of overseeing that, which they do that a lot in BMX and in skateboarding. So maybe they're trying to adopt that a little bit where it's more of an overall impression, and they're kind of looking like, well, this guy did two big, huge tricks. Even though he slipped on this one a little bit, we're still going to give him a higher score than the guy who didn't have the big tricks, who was flawless. So I think I was seeing a little bit of that, which has been a shift because it wasn't like that back in the day. That's what I was getting at. You made one mistake, you pretty much, it was dead sailor, or even, hesitant on a trick, or if you repeated a trick, you usually got beat out by someone with a little bit easier run than yours. So maybe things are shifting a little bit, which I'm not against any of that. It is what it is. And I think guys should get rewarded for big tricks because they're taking big risks. But at the same time, someone messes up to where, like, think about figure skating in Olympics. This is our Olympics. Someone makes one mistake in figure skating in Olympics, you're out. You ain't going to get a medal. So I can understand where when you're giving medals out, the run should be pretty flawless, in my opinion, as a judge. Okay, we'll jump over to best whip. And we got Parsons, Wanky, Bierman, and Axel. So what do you guys think? Let me get some feedback on you, because this one's easy. I don't need to talk too much on. We had basically Parson, he went whip this way, whip that way. So he basically did a seat bounce whip, but he did two of the same ones. And then Wanky goes seat bounce whip to huge turn down, the best turn down in the game. And then Bierman and Axel were doing both seat bounce whips to turn ups. I even think I've seen both of those guys do turn down. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? Because I didn't agree with this lineup at all. I would have had Wanky in first, in my opinion. Like, I was really surprised when I watched, and I was like, oh, Wanky won this easy. He killed it. And then all of a sudden, the score popped up, and Parsons was in first. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how did Parsons win that? Not that Parsons' whip ain't sick. Don't get me wrong. I just think all of those dudes had seat bounce whips all on the same level. They all were cranking seat bounce whips pretty close. I don't really think it was just like someone was clearly the winner on seat bounce whip. So what I was looking at was like overall impression, who's got the best whips. So the combo whips, rather than doing two of the same whips, one way, one other. Wanky, nobody can do a turn down like Wanky. He's got the sickest one. So I think he should have been rewarded for that. And then same thing with Bierman's turn up is sick. And I like to see, that's what I'm saying. This is my opinion. So, and maybe someone else might like seat bounce whips better than turn downs, but I think the turn down looks a lot sicker. And like I said, if you got four guys battling in the main event for 3 medals, and they're all doing the same whip, within a few inches apart, as far as like getting it completely tweaked, but then you have 2 of the guys doing 2 other variations, 3 of the guys doing 2 other variations and one dude's, no one can even touch his. He should be first, in my opinion. So that would have been Wanky. But Wanky was stoked, and I'm not taking anything away from Parsons. I think Parsons is sick and the nicest dude in the world. So nothing but respect for Parsons. All these dudes, I love all these guys. I'm just voicing how I seen it, in my opinion. I would have scored it different, 100% if I was in the booth. But that's why there's multiple people in there, because not everybody sees it the same. All right, so we'll jump out of best whip, and I'll cruise. I'm already at almost 7:30. I'm jibber jabbering tonight. We're gonna. There's a lot to talk about, right? Like all these events. Best whip. We'll go fast. We'll go fast on these so we can jump into questions. We'll get 30 minutes of questions, so I'll spend 5 minutes on these, and then we'll jump in. We'll get 30 minutes, and I do want to hear your guys' thoughts. So I still want to scroll through and just see what you guys were thinking. Brown. So yeah, Melissa was right. Brown's the dude who crashed in the 250 class. So best trick was Adelberg with the front flip, which I think I was 100% with these guys on that. It was super smooth, super extended, and the front flip's gnarly, and so I give it to him. That was there. David Ronaldo with the second, and he did a new variation of his trick that he won. So he was basically a defending champ because there was no 2020 X Games. He was 2019 champion for best trick. And he did a body varial there, and he came back with a new one. And it happened kind of quick. got back on. So he pulled the second, which, hey, innovation. It's kind of hard to remember what the one from 2019 looked like without watching them back to back, and how this one was different. Looked really similar, but he said it's new, so I'm sure it was. He probably just rotated somehow different, but wrapped up another bronze. So hey, good for him. And then Bink coming in with the bronze on best trick. And do you guys remember what Bink did? Because I know it had to be a double flip, but what type of variation did he do? Because I can't remember. I kept trying. I know it had to be a double flip because he's a double flipper. So it was. Was it a knack double flip or was it a no-handed double flip? Or was it something different I'm not even thinking of? You guys remember, throw it up so we can get some feedback on that. And then pipe, hey, clear-cut winner, Raha, Axel Bierman. And, hey, shout out to all three of these dudes. This is, in my opinion, the gnarliest event at X Games right now. Basically, bump step up out. Step up's gone. This is the new step up, and it's way gnarlier. And if you ever looked at that ramp or jumped that ramp or looked at the landing, it's no joke. So, big prop to all these dudes for sending it. Big props to all these guys, man. These dudes are sick. Everybody, Alderberg, the whole lineup. I mean, these are dudes who are training. Everything these guys are doing to get these medals is gnarly, especially in the pipe and best trick and even freestyle, dude. The throw run together on that track. That course is probably the gnarliest course these guys have had in a long time. So think about it. Back in the day, we had big courses like that. That was normal. But then X Games kind of got away from the big courses, went down to making the courses really simple because they wanted the big tricks. They wanted a better show. So they simplified the jumps, simplified the course so the riders wouldn't mess up and they'd be able to go big trick, big trick, big trick, big trick, no mess up. And now bringing it back to this gnarly course, technical course, you've seen a lot of the guys fumbling the run, messing up because of the technical. And it does make it harder. It puts a little more pressure on the guys because you don't get whole lot of time to get the course dialed. And that's what makes it hard with the big event or with the big course is you show up and they're like, hey, you got a 5-minute session and then we'll give you another 5 minutes. So you get 10 minutes on the course, 5 minutes. You're like, dude, that's not much time. You're lucky if you jump all the jumps, let alone flip all the jumps or do all your tricks over the jumps that you want to do in your run. Versus if you show up and there's 3 ramps, 1 down, 1 back, and a 120, you know how fast to hit all those. They're all 75, one's at 120. Very easy. Burt. And so I think it was cool to see the big gnarly course. I think it looked really cool. Only thing I thought was a bummer for the guys was that there was no crowd. And that's one thing that kind of was always fun about going to X Games is like you would get there, Home Depot Center. I mean, even Staples Center. Staples Center sits 15,000, maybe 18,000. That place was packed. But dude, Home Depot Center in the Los Angeles Coliseum, there was nothing like rolling out. When you made the main at X Games, you rolled out on the box and under the lights and everybody was there and you looked up. I don't even know where that stadium sits, but I say 50,000 people, maybe more, probably more. What if you guys know like what? That's a big stadium, but it was just the energy that was in X Games back then was sick. So I know it's gotta. I mean, talk to the racers. They were talking about it this week. They love having the crowd there, and I know it's having the fans there is a big part about it. A big part of competing. You feed off those energy, and you're practicing in secret for months leading up to this event. Like you're just grinding, and then you get to come out there, and then it's just like boom. You're on this stage with all these people. So I know a little bit different vibe to be kind of like in your backyard, all this pressure on you. No fans there, but I think these guys, I mean, at the end of the day, at least they got X Games, better than last year, no X Games. So really important for these riders to get X Games. But what about, I don't think it's kind of weird it wasn't on TV, right? Like live streamed only. So I thought that was a little weird too, not having it on X Games. All right. I'm talking too much. Run out of time. What do you guys think about the 110 event? I want your thoughts on this because it's a brand new event. And what's your guys' thoughts? Hey, shout out to Axel winning it. And then Kobe got second, McNeil with a third. But what'd you guys think? Cheesy? Was it corny? Or did it look cool? What did you think? Before I even tell you what I thought. Anybody? Somebody got something? Interesting. Mixtape says interesting. All right, my first thought is it's more of a fun event. I think I don't know if I'm like I get they're trying, like X Games always trying to try new stuff. So hey, it is what it is. Let them try it. Maybe it'll catch on. Maybe it'll grow into something cool. But to me, I'm like, wait, did anyone even train for that event? I don't probably think so. I think they all just showed up like, hey, it's another event. I can maybe win. They only gave 1 medal. They gave a gold. They didn't give 3 medals for it. So to me, that almost makes it like, is it really a legit event? They didn't even give medals for it. Like, if you're going to have an event, X Games event, in my opinion, it should be an event that gives 3 medals. In my opinion, it should be an event that you train for, that you give your life to, because this is the Olympics of action sports. So to me, I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I ought to scratch that one out of X Games. I know it's a fun event. Hey, good for Axel. I got nothing but love for the dude, and he probably got a nice, good bonus for winning that. But in my opinion, I was kind of like, I wasn't really feeling it. I think after watching the guys ride the freestyle course, doing huge jumps, and then guys coming out in low 50s jumping these little small jumps, I thought it didn't look that cool. I'm going to be honest with you. I can say that. It's my opinion. I thought it looked cheesy. And the tricks that they were doing, just kind of like, it's like going back to like 1998, right? So, but hey, it is what it is. So that's my thoughts. All right. We got 30 minutes. We're going to get jumped in. We're going to talk. We're going to get to these questions because we want to talk. And hey, let's talk about X Games. You got X Games questions. You got race stuff. And I want to try to see some of your just comments, because I want to feel what you guys are feeling on some of this stuff. So here we go. Man, my eyes been getting jacked up, dude. Can't even see these days. Brian, let's get Brian up here. He says, not a question, but might race Kingsville night race or Grand Valley on Sunday. It's funny. I just saw the post for Kingsville, and I thought, oh, it's at night. I can't see. Hey, so maybe I should consider Grand Valley on Sunday and come out there and moto with you, dude. Because I've been thinking about racing. I really have. I've brought it up to Mel a couple times. It's on the radar, you know? So it could happen. Mixed tips. Hey, any idea how to progress quicker? One of my opinions on the best way to progress, one, I would say get coaching. Always someone that can lead and guide you in the right direction is going to help you progress. But video. Get someone to film you while you ride, and then watch how you ride, and then study the top guys. Learn how to self-coach. Like, a lot of people might not be able to get to a coach or don't have the budget for coaching. Self-coach yourself. Study the other riders, and then study yourself, and then compare yourself. How do I look like versus them? Look at a still photo of you. Look at a still photo of Roxon. Where's your butt on the seat? Where's your head at? Where's your arms at? Where's your feet? And just start comparing, and then start making those small adjustments. So, but video is I think one of the greatest tools in all sports to progress. But if you can get to some coaching somewhere, definitely sign up with somebody, and that's always helps a ton for sure. Or we get Jess Hunt here thinking about getting rid of the 450 and doing a 350. Thoughts? I mean, I think it's personal preference. I'm a 450 guy all day, but I rode the 350, and the 350 to me feels like a fast 250. But it was super fun to ride. So if you're feeling like your 50 is maybe a tad too aggressive and you want something a little like that, you can just ride harder, because you have to ride it harder. That's the thing. If you're used to riding your 450 and you get on your 350, you got to ride it like a 250. You can't ride it like a 450, because I've rode one at Fox Raceway, and the first 2 laps, I came up short almost on every jump, because I kept trying to jump everything like my 450, and it just doesn't have that low-end grunt. So you have to, you got to keep it in the R's, ride that thing like a 250F. But they're fun, dude. I think you'll have fun on it. I think they're that perfect mid-bike, to be honest with you, because it's like it feels like a fast 250. It's probably like a factory 250, because those factory bikes, I bet, are probably as fast as a stock 350. All right, we got Eric Davis up in here. What up? All right, so let's see here. We got Anthony P here. It says, I was watching the Krusty 8 earlier. You were part of the group that dropped into, in New Zealand. Yep, I was on that trip. If so, what was it like dropping into a volcano that fell down the mountain? I was on that trip, but I'm trying to remember the volcano. That wasn't, I don't remember the volcano 100%, but it must have been, obviously, That's how bad my memory is. That trip was a long time ago. Hey, you know what I did do in New Zealand? I got this bungee jump. Me, Seth, and Bubba. We made Bubba go first because we were like, yo, if it can hold it can hold us. So we kicked Bubba off first. But New Zealand was probably one of the funnest trips that I got to do. It's beautiful out there. Beautiful, beautiful country. Green, just pretty beaches, pretty country, mountains, super nice people. Everybody speaks English. Great place to visit if you ever get the chance. And hey, riding was fun. I know we had a lot of fun riding, and yeah, it was good times. But I think my biggest memory was the bungee jump. It was sick. It was so fun. Me and Seth went back the next day and jumped off. It was basically like this gnarly half of a bridge that stuck off this cliff, and you jumped off and went all the way down and did a head dip into the water. And me and Seth are so pumped on it. We're like, yo, let's go back and do it again. So we did it 2 days in a row. We're like, this is sick. All right, Anthony P back. People say, are like glass. Is that? I can't remember that mountain. It's just my fault, dude. There's nothing. I can't remember all of the riding there. I just know it was fun. And I know that we did a lot. I feel like every time we've done a crusty trip, we always go backcountry and just ride. We just go where we go, get the locals and say, hey, you guys can go ride this, and we take off. And that's always fun. I love that. I grew up just riding trails and fun stuff. But there was also a freestyle rider from New Zealand, and I can't remember his name right now. If anybody remembers his name, but he's a super good rider. We hooked up with him, and we built some jumps at his place, and that was really fun. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was a really good rider. Super cool guy. Let's see here. I was on there. Best trick. So kind of touched on this, Nico. I mean, hey, dude, he's innovating, got a silver medal, doing something new. So I think all that stuff's gnarly. Anytime you're trying to turn and twist and rotate on the bike while the bike's flying and keep the bike straight, it's not easy. It's hard. So I give him props for being creative, being coming up with something new. That's not that easy these days when it almost seems like everything's been done. So to get creative enough to have a new trick each year is tough. So I think I'm nothing but love for Big D. Let's see. Iowa. We got our boy from Iowa. Yeah, yes, sir. So I was trying to figure out what that was from. Is that Iowa? Yeah. So it is Royal Delinquent. We got some more KCO. We got Colby. What up? Yeah, Curtis. He's like, yeah, that's not me. No, Kurt. Our other boy has an M. I can't remember his last name, but he has an M last name. Oh, he might be in here by now. Or he could be. He's probably actually seen his brother. I think his brother might be still in the hospital. We got Mike here from Jersey. He says, I think Tonka should have placed better than he did. Yeah, I agree too. And Twitch said the same. Twitch actually thought he should have got third. I was like, what do you think about Taco John? He's like, I think he should have got third. So that's why I was like, did Atterberg mess up? Did he? And I think someone did. And maybe that's why Twitch was feeling like, because you got to remember, Twitch from the old school. You make a mistake, you're out. So Twitch probably saw someone do a mistake and thought, oh, dude, he blew it. And then Taka didn't mess up. So he's probably like, hey, wait, hold on. How did Taka not get up farther when he had a flawless run? Because that's just how it was. But like I said, I think you're seeing a little bit of a shift in the judging on where they're not being so picky about a small little bobble if there was the bigger front flip, double flip in the run. And that's, like I said, you see that in BMX and then in skateboarding where they oversee, they'll dead sailor. Sometimes you'll watch a BMX guy, he might dead sailor 2 jumps and then do one big one and win. That never was like that in freestyle. If you dead sailered anything, it was over. You couldn't dead sailor. Same thing with a skater in a vert. He'll go set up, boom, 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 900. You can't do 3 dead sailors and then do a double backflip and win. That's not going to happen. You got to trick every single jump from freestyle. That's how it's always been. So a little bit, just the way, I don't know, it's the way the sport is, I guess. All right. I'm definitely going to be having to see an eye doctor, dude. The screen's really far from me, and it's blurry. That's so sad, dude. I'm getting old. I can't even see anymore. Oh, what up? We got Adam B in the place to be. What up? The double backflip. I was just trying to see what he said about it. Actually, I didn't go out there for X Games. So, dude, I was actually going to go, but it was actually really hard to go to X Games this year. Basically, the rule was you had to have the vaccine or you had to get tested 48 hours prior to the event to show that you were negative, but you were only allowed to be a direct guest of a rider. So it was really hard. So I decided, I was like, you know what? This just sounds like a mission. I ain't flying all the way out there and getting tested and doing all this. So I decided to, and most of the guys were like, my guest pass is going to my wife, my guest pass is going to my mechanic. So they weren't giving out guest passes. I'm sure you guys noticed. There was no one there. It was really, really tight this year. So, and to be honest with you, I like going to X Games. So hopefully next year they loosen up and get back to getting the fans out there, and I want to go out and watch. And like I said, I hope I see the fans back, because I really just I just know it plays a big role into, because think about it, if you go down at X, like remember the year I crashed at X Games Feist, and I got another chance to come, tried a 360, crashed. Crowd went crazy, and then I got another chance to come out and do it again. Well, what do you think motivates you to go try to do it? You got 50,000 people sitting there, and you're like, I've stuck this before in the pit. Let me get this in front of all these people. Like, so it motivates the athlete. Like, this is what I've been working on all year. I'm gonna show these people I can do it. And then you got to go out there and throw this rundown, and it's just you and your homies. Raha is sick. I agree. He's got the skills. He has definitely got the event. So everyone finds their niche. You know what I'm saying? Like Jacko, let's just be honest. Jacko's the best trick dude. You've seen him in freestyle, kind of a little bit harder for him to put a run again, but he's the best trick guy, and he's always been a best trick guy. So you just got to be honest. Find your niche. Just like, Renard did pretty good in freestyle, but step up was Renard's deal. And same thing, you see a guy like Raha. Raha, he's not going to come out in freestyle and put together a run. He's not necessarily even like a best trick guy. He's a straight up quarter pipe guy. He's got that event wired, and that's where he's gonna kill it. So that's all good. And some guys are whip guys. Some guys are best trick guys. Some guys are freestyle. Like think about Taka. Taka's a freestyle guy. You don't see Taka really come out with a big banging trick, but that dude has every other trick minus like those super gnarly ones, which he's done double backflips. I haven't seen him do front flips, but he's done double backflips, which is a huge trick. But Taka has every other trick in the book better than probably anybody out there, and he never messes up. So he's a freestyle guy all day long. Put together, 6, 8, 9 tricks in a row on the gnarliest course and never make a mistake. That's sometimes a little bit harder than doing one big one. Link it all together. Definitely a lot of pressure. All right. Man, I'm really struggling to read this board. He said, we got Mike. He said, how about Bilko bucking himself off the court? Oh, that was that Bilko? Or I think that might have been the other, that was when he did the double flip and got bucked into or did Bilko do something? Because Bilko was there, but maybe I missed something. But Bink. Bink, you might have been thinking about Bink. Bink got bucked. He did a double flip. Do you see how close the berm was to where everyone had a double flip? I thought that was gnarly because there was no room. So if you over jump, which I think he went a little long and kind of whiskied, and he aired it off that berm and just went into the weeds. This is sketch, dude. Tight course. But that's what, you get on those tight little things. There's no room for mistakes. That's what happened to me in Nuclear Cowboys. We're inside that small little arena. I did a no-handed or a one-handed knack flip and slipped off the foot peg. And when I rotated the flip, got back on, I couldn't get to my brakes and smacked right into the wall and broke my femur. So just imagine if that was a wall there. Think what it would just straight into the wall, because that's what happened to me. He got the eject down the hill. All right, let's see. Mike saying Wanky won, Bierman, Axel. Honestly, that is exactly the way I called it. I was like, that was I had it just like that. I was with you on that one. Yeah, Big Fight says Wanky should have got gold. So that's I'm all right. So that's what I'm saying, because I feel like sometimes people think like, oh, Wanky's his buddy. That's probably why he says that. But no, I'm like, I want people to get what they deserve. That man, just make sure I ain't missing nothing. Interesting, stupid. So here's some of the thoughts on your guys. I'm probably way behind, but this is probably some of your guys' thoughts on the 15 or the 110s. How much does why? Yeah. So John saying how much How much does watching it make you miss it? I mean, big time. I feel like any competitor, it's hard to be a competitor and then have to get old and retire. So you're like, it's tough. That's why you start thinking about racing again. You're like, should I go race a 40-plus class? Because you just want to compete. Like, you want a goal. That's what I like. I like having the goal and having something I'm going after. That, to me, is always gives you something to reach for. Always gives you something to wake up every morning. Now I got a vision. I'm going after something. So I like being focused. I like running after things. And that's what I loved about being a competitor. There's always an event coming up that you had to prepare for. And then you retire. And you're like, well, I guess I don't have to ride today. All right. Hey, Adam here with the super chat. He says, here's all I got for this week. Start new trucking job out tomorrow. Hey, well, congrats on a new job out of Springfield, MO. Hey, so you're going to be out our way, dude. Not too far. Where's Springfield at? Anybody know? It's somewhere around here. I'm right by the border, dude. Kansas City border and Missouri border. I basically could throw a rock over state line. That's how close I live to the border. All right. So Parker Motor says, loved your training. Well, I appreciate it, brother. Man, I'm seriously struggling to read now. I'm really bummed. Wait, I'm not sure. Nico's saying, wasn't Rudy Waller? I'm not sure what... Oh, no. Rudy Waller. No, here it is right here. Nick Franklin. So, yep, I'm catching back on. Nick Franklin was yep, that's it. That was the New Zealand dude. Super cool dude. Great freestyle guy. We got to ride with him. So, thanks for that. Anthony P. Wherever it happened to Graham Gustin, who rode for Flesh Gap. I'm not sure, man. Kind of disappeared. A lot of guys disappear in freestyle. They show up and all of a sudden, gone. I don't know. Yeah, see, Brian knows his name. I told you it started with an M. How do we say that? McLeanan? Curtis, Big Curtis. That's our homie. So keep Curtis's brother in your prayers because he just took a dirty one this week. All right. Hodl Bull. Big Fight's fired up about the shot over here. All right, I'm just trying to make sure I ain't skipping anybody. Hey, so V-Dub here. V-Dub, my brother. He says, loving the 2006. Oh, yeah, so check this out. V-Dub has got, I'm jealous, bro. Can I say that? He's got a 2006 CR250. He sent me pics of this thing. This thing is about as clean as you can get. So, and I know I've talked about this before, and I'm kind of got inspired by V-Dub. I sent me these pics, and I'm like looking at these pics, and I'm like, you know what? If I can't ever actually get one of my personal bikes back, because I like to get my shop set up and get a bike. One of my personal ones back in the game. But if I can't, you can always find one of those clean 2006s out there that someone kept well, and you can just restore it and get a set of graphics mocked up and just have one. I think this is a really cool bike to have in your collection. I think 2007 was the last year, but still, 2006, 2007, even 2005, you get those last 3 years. It's the last year Honda made a two-stroke. So to hold on to one of them is, I think, pretty cool to have in the lineup. I wouldn't mind getting one of those here down the road. So we got Jess Hunt. He says, how many people do you know that had a bad crash and quit? In my opinion, if you're a DBK, you know it's coming eventually. Yeah, it's going to happen no matter what. I mean, but to be honest with you, how many people do you know that had bad crash and quit? Dude, I know a lot of people that had bad crash and quit. I mean, even pros. I know guys who had one bad crash and that was it. They like basically career just fizzled out. They couldn't really make it back from the injury. So it happens a lot. Not just amateurs and people who just ride for fun, but pros. Some people, it gets in your head sometimes, But the way I look at it, like it is going to happen. No matter what, like that's why me and Mel sometimes talk about, like, we're like, hey, if we ever have a son, like, if he gets a dirt bike, he's gonna get hurt. Like that's it. You just have to know that buying your kid a dirt bike. Like, if we get him a dirt bike, he's crashing. He's gonna break some bones. Like, so should we just get him football, baseball? But Dad loves to ride too much, so if I have a son, he will probably be riding dirt bikes if he wants to hang out with Pops. So it is what it is. You get hurt in anything, so you might as well do what you enjoy, right? And the same thing, I talked about with Deegan a bunch too, because Deegan was actually trying to get Danger Boy to race trucks. He was like, I got him the trophy cart, and he's like, he didn't like it. He just wanted to ride his dirt bike all day. So he's like, what do I do? He loves riding dirt bikes. He don't want to race the cart. So Deegan's like, well, I'm going to go riding with him. So, but you just know, Deegan knows. Deegan's been around long enough. Deegan's broke off many times. He knows the risk is there. It's scary, though. Being a parent, I think it would be pretty scary. Mel would be a mess because she worries enough as it is. Maybe we should just have all girls. So let them do dance or something. Reed Dubsky coming through with the super chat. He said, I need to get some pics of your old 06 CR250. Gonna do another replica build. Can't wait for you to come to Texas. Yeah, brother. I'm trying to think. The one of the bikes is an ECC, so I'll actually see if I can find some pics of my old two strokes. I know I got some pics around somewhere, and I'll send you. I'll DM you some pics so you can get an idea. But if I was to do one, I mean, you don't have to go out like this. I don't want to be thrown off. I'm throwing no pressure on you, so you got to do it like this. You do it however you want, because obviously I had different looks for different years. But my favorite year of my bike was I believe it was my 2006, and I think that is the one that's at ECC. It had black frame, black swing arm, black forks. We basically, Tony Jetski was my mechanic back then, tore the entire bike apart, anodized everything, all black, and then we had all red plastic, red fork guards, fenders, number plates, and then a red seat. So all red with all black, and I think we had gold wheels on it though. So it was black frame, gold wheels, red plastic. Pretty hard looking. And Tony don't play around. If anybody knows Tony Jetski, he does some serious good work. So my bike was sick. So if I got one, I might have to go all out just for fun. Mike's saying if you have all daughters, be a little Vicky Cole. I know, right? Dude, it's funny because I see more and more girls on Instagram riding these days. Like pop, you know how you get on the not the stories, but the reels, and you just kind of scroll, and it's just like moto pics popping up, and then I keep seeing like girls riding now. Like some of these girls rip, and Vicky Golden shreds. So hey, you never know. We'll be down on Loretta's doing the women's class. Hey, and that's coming up here pretty soon, which I think is going to be a really sweet event. I wouldn't mind going to that just to even watch. I think the last time I talked to Twitch, he said him and Axel and I think Taka maybe were supposed to do a freestyle demo down there this year. And obviously we know the Deegans are going to be down there racing. Rhino's going. I think Rhino's racing the 45 plus class. I think Jeff Emming's racing 45 plus. Obviously, Mike Brown's racing 45 plus. 45 plus class is still gnarly. Like, look at those three dudes, all ex-champions. Like, come on, Rhino was on the U.S. Destinations team. Emmy's got how many? A couple outdoor titles. So, that class is not slow. And I would be in that class next year. I'd be in 45 plus. But I wouldn't even mind just going down to hang out. Just kick it. Just cruise down, set up the trailer, hang out with the boys, and just kick it. And I think... So if there's a new coaching association, some of you guys might have heard that. I believe it's called the USMCA, like the United States American or Motorcycle Coaching Association, something like that. But anyway, I'm going through the classes right now, so I've been doing it online. It's like an online course you have to take, which I'm actually glad that I'm doing it, and because it goes through all this background stuff. It teaches you, I have to get certified in CPR. I have to get certified in head trauma, all these different things like that. Where I'm like, you know what? This is really good for coaches, like all coaches. So if you're a coach out there and you do any type of coaching, really consider about getting certified with those guys and getting just some training and some, what would we call that? Just like first aid, just immediate response to stuff. And just, anyway, they're going to have a booth down there, and they said any of our coaches that are certified, they can hook up with tickets, passes and that stuff. So I was like, maybe I should go to Loretta's and hang out. Got me a free pass from the coaching association. But anyway, so I'm doing it right now. I got to finish. I don't know how long it'll take me. They give you 2 months to finish the course, so I'm hoping it doesn't take me 2 months to finish. But anyway, good stuff. So you can look them up. And the thing is if you're at whatever state you're at, I'm like looking around, like I want to tell you the right website. Where's my phone? I don't have my phone in here because I follow them on Instagram. But basically, if you're looking for a coach, this is a great way to find a coach because you can go to their website and basically put in your site or put in your state, and it'll pull up certified coaching in your area, and not just for motocross. So basically, if you want to get training for enduro, they got enduro coaches. You want to get training for motocross, got motocross coaches. And if you want to get training for, I believe, like road racing, so they have all different types of coaching. So I think it's really cool. What is it? Yeah, it's called the USMCA. The website. It doesn't have the website on there. It has a link. But anyway, just Google USMCA. It's the U.S. Motorcycle Coaching Association. So, and then if you want to find them on Instagram, it's just USMCA_official. So look those guys up. And like I said, a great place to find coaching in your area, find a good coach. And, yeah, like I said, I'm stoked to link up with those guys and get certified and just get some training. That way, if anything ever happens, man, you can respond in the right way. And it's just a lot of things, even just the different things, like, because you got to like listen to these lessons and take a quiz and do all this stuff. Just opened up my mind to think about so many different things, and I just started. So I'm like, man, that's actually really good. So super psyched on that. All right, here. Let's see. We got Anthony here. I'm reading this because I just saw mail pop up and say that's awesome. It says, I'm 37, and this is my first summer back. Let's pop this up so we all can see it. We got Anthony P here. He says, I'm 37. This is my first summer back into riding after years of not being on the bike. And, oh, my God, I feel like a newborn. And I'm so excited to ride like a little kid the day before Christmas. Bro, I can relate to you, Hunter. I get it. That's the greatest thing about riding. You know what? Don't ever lose that. None of us. That's the whole reason we started, is because it's fun. And it's the whole reason 35 years later that I still enjoy it. It's fun. Enjoy it because it's fun. Do it. Keep it fun. Yeah, but we can get serious. We can get competitive. We can do everything we want to do to progress and get to our goals. But at the end of the day, you got to keep it fun. And I love those days when you go out on the track and it's just mint dirt, perfect conditions, and you feel like you were like, you remember, like I remember when it wasn't the pressure of being, on the X Games stage of just riding in the little gravel pit up the street, how fun that was for me back then. And I still have days like that. And I know all you guys can relate to that. Those days are what makes it worth it. It's why we do it. And I think that's why we can do it for 35, 40 plus years and still enjoy it. Even though it beats us up sometimes, it spanks us sometimes, but it's so fun. I love it. I do. I seriously love riding dirt bikes. Bottom line, I feel like we probably all can say that, right? We probably all relate to it. It's like a passion that you can't shake. You can try to take a break, but it's just always like, man, I got to get out there and ride. And then you get that one day in and you're like, man, all right, I was good. I felt good. So hey, all right, so Mel's saying we didn't get any buffering. So, hey, shout out to AT&T for fixing the problem. But check it out. They did give us a little heads up of these other things that we can get that'll even improve our signals in different rooms. So now I got this app, tells me where the signal's good in this room versus this room. And, of course, the room we do the lives in, it's not as strong as some of the other rooms in the house. So it worked. Psyched we didn't get buffered out, but I think it'd still be wise for us to order those things and stick them in this room so we get a little bit better, because I do want to bring on some guys, and I don't want it buffering when we start live streaming with somebody in California, and actually try to get Potter on tonight. Potter's in Missouri. Todd Potter is in Missouri right now. He's got his wife's brother lives out here, and I didn't want to bug him too much. I just kind of threw it out there to see, and so it wasn't able to make it tonight, but we'll get him on in the future. He already said he would do it. But anyway, his wife's brother lives in Kearney, Missouri. So he's only like an hour from me. So he's coming over this week. So we're going to hang out. So good to see Potter in town here. So anyway, we are at the 8 o'clock time here. So, hey, guys. Nothing but love. Thanks again for hanging out, being here week after week. Thank you for all your patience, working through all the buffering. Hey, we're back. It looks like we're going to be good like we used to be. If you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button so YouTube pumps this out. Give us some love. We'll see you guys next week. Hey, ride safe. God bless. Much love.